beautiful lovelies, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another recipe taste test. Today I'm going to be tasting a flavor combination that I just recently learned about. Apparently it's one that's been going on for quite a while, but it's new to me. And it's the combination of cinnamon rolls and chili. Chili not meaning the hot pepper chili, but chili meaning the beef and bean, well, depending on where you're from, beef and bean or all bean bowl of chili full of chili spices and yumminess. But that combination specifically, apparently it's eaten in the Midwest and the upper northern portion of the US, although I've heard about it eaten in the Pacific Northwest too. So Oregon, Montana, let's see, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and even down in Colorado. But this pairing I have never heard of before, and apparently it's pretty popular in lunchrooms. So kids might eat this as a school lunch. You'll get a bowl of chili, and then next to it you have a cinnamon roll. You know, the cinnamon roll that we all know with a little bit of sweet drizzle on top. Some people say they eat it separately. Some people say you eat it in combination. It sounds delicious to me. The origins are kind of murky, like all these kind of legendary foods. Some say it was kind of an automatic pairing because Cincinnati chili has cinnamon in it, and so cinnamon roll, cinnamon-based chili. Others call this a lumberjack breakfast, and it was a combination of breakfast cinnamon roll with leftover chili and just became a favorite. At any rate, it just sounds absolutely delicious. So I'm going to be making it today, and I'm going to be making it with a special cinnamon roll recipe. So a while back, I did a recipe of chocolate fudge that contained beef fudge. I will put the link down below and up above. And it's an amazing recipe of chocolate fudge that contains a good amount of cooked beef. Now, soon after I published that recipe book, Steve got in contact with me, and he said he was actually neighbors with Florence, and they shared a back alley, and that she had these famous cinnamon rolls that she would love to share with everyone. Steve very kindly shared the recipe with me, so today I'm going to be baking Florence's cinnamon rolls. Sadly, Florence has since passed, but her legacy lives on, and today this video is dedicated to her. So let's go ahead and get started. So I made my chili last night. I feel it always tastes better the next day, and I just used this box mix. This is Carol Shelby's original Texas brand, one of the first cars I ever fell in love with, the Shelby Cobra. I love that car. I still do love that car. It's a beautiful car. So this was pretty easy to put together. You just take 2 pounds of ground beef, and you're just gonna brown it up into a large pan. Add 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, and then add 2 cans of water. So you're gonna add the chili mix, and if you want this hot, you would add the cayenne, but since I was gonna give this to my boys, I omitted the cayenne and the salt. Bring it to a boil and allow it to simmer for about 15 minutes. So at this point, it's ready to serve if you like your chili nice and soupy, and if you wanna add beans, this is the point you would add your beans. And I like my chili a little bit thicker, so they included some masa, which is cornmeal. And you combine this with half a cup of water and add as much or as little of the masa as you like till you get your chili to the consistency you like. So at this point, it's ready to serve, but I like mine better the next day. I feel like the flavors intensify. So just store it in your fridge and then reheat it when you're ready to have it. All right, so now let me tell you about how to prepare the dough. First, you're gonna add your yeast, then your salt and your sugar, and combine that with warm water. Then you're gonna add your eggs, and then you're gonna add your oil and give that a really good mix as well. Florence lists 2 types of flours, and one of them is called Prarie Gold flour, and after doing a little bit of research, it is white whole wheat flour. I didn't find any Prarie Gold flour around here, but I did find this, and this is King Arthur's white whole wheat flour. We're gonna combine our flours. Florence says stir until smooth, hot, and sticky. Then we're gonna cover this and allow it to proof for an hour and a half. So that's where I am now. So I've mixed up some cinnamon sugar. This is 6.5 tablespoons of granulated sugar with 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon, and that is from Peter Reinhardt's Bread Baker's Apprentice. So I figure that is a pretty good reference for that. Here is my dough, and it is proofed up quite a bit. Look at this. Oh my goodness, look at that. That looks glorious. Florence says to work this down and put it into rolls, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna work this down. It's like brioche. This dough is very sticky and it smells great. I love working with yeast. I don't want to add too much flour, just enough flour to be able to handle the dough. Make it a little bit more manageable. So Steve tells me he's not really the baker in the family, that his mother-in-law actually is, and that she continues to make Florence's cinnamon rolls, and she says she makes them about the size of her palm. So we want the rolls to be nice and puffy. I'm not going to roll this out too thinly. I'm going to liberally sprinkle cinnamon sugar all over this. I'm going to lift this edge and try to get this as tight as possible with the roll. This dough is so soft. Okay, so I'm going to pinch the seam a little bit to kind of keep them closed up. Divide that in half. I think 6 looks good. So 12. So here are the rolls all shaped. And now we're going to pop them into a 350-degree oven for 7 minutes, give them a turn, and then finish them off for another 7 minutes. And then it'll be cinnamon roll time. So here are my cinnamon rolls. They look lovely. I've been letting them cool for about 10 minutes now, and I'm ready to ice them. So I've made a really simple icing glaze here. This is just a little bit of milk with a bunch of powdered sugar. Drizzle that on top. Adding some more powdered sugar because this looks a little too runny. Yeah, that's better. There we go. That one's mine. So there's my bowl of chili, and add a good bit of shredded cheese on top of that. Okay, so everything is made. Let's give our chili and cinnamon rolls a taste. Rip this apart. It's straight out of the oven. Warm. All right, this goes out to you, Florence. Itadakimasu. Mmm. Those are good. Fluffy, bready. That's my next batch. Hang on. And those are delicious. They're fluffy and they're moist, warm, cinnamony without being too cinnamony. And I really like the texture of the whole wheat in there. It gives it a little bit more sturdiness, a little bit more structure without being tough. The bread is still very, very light and moist. And tender, and a really great crumb. And I really like the level of sweetness. Unlike, say, a Cinnabon type bread, which puts butter on the inside, this is not so decadent and dripping with butter. Actually, there's no butter in this at all. It still remains light and sweet and like a dessert, but not heavy. It doesn't feel excessive. It's just great. Like the cinnamon rolls, I'm gonna have the chili by itself first. Well, topped with some shredded cheese. Oh, I'm gonna add a good amount of cayenne because I like heat, and I omitted it for the big recipe. That's a lot of cayenne. But it's good. It's a very good chili. I like that a lot. This has got a good amount of salt, so if you're watching your salt intake, I would reduce the amount of salt that goes in here. Exactly what I think of when I think of the classic Texas red style chili. Of course, there's some beans in there, but we like a little beans. If you're a diehard, please omit the beans. And it's got a great chili flavor and goes really well with the ground beef. Delish. All right, let's do this together. And it's great. The sweetness actually goes really well with the spice and the richness of the chili. It's great. I love it. It is different than cornbread, certainly, but it's not that different actually. You know, starch with your chili, except this is a little bit sweet. The cinnamon actually goes really well with the spices in the chili. And that little addition of sweetness from the icing is great. I love it. All right, here's a plain one. Oh, this one has a smiley face. Look. Happy smile. I'm not gonna eat you because I'm gonna show you to my son. Smile. All right, let's eat this one plain. Add some butter on there, or add a lot of butter. All right, here we go. Mmm. Hmm. Freshly baked bread is just so good. It's just so good. This is much more like a roll because we just put some cinnamon sugar in there. It's sweet but not overly so. And this just tastes like you would have something with your, chili. So if you're a little bit on the fence of this combination of cinnamon rolls with chili, just omit the icing and you'll be a convert. It's absolutely delicious. So there you have it, cinnamon rolls and chili, absolutely delicious. If you've never tried it before, go ahead and try it. The next time you make a batch of chili, whip up some cinnamon rolls, even if they're like, the freezer kind of cinnamon rolls. Although this recipe was really, really simple. It's a great combination. And if you don't like the combination, that's fine, because then you can just have cinnamon rolls, for breakfast or, for dessert and have it separate. But together, it's really excellent. Steve, thank you so much for sharing Florence's recipe. It was absolutely lovely. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had this combination before. And if so, what are your thoughts? And yeah, please share this video with your friends. It really helps me out. Follow me on social media, subscribe, like, and I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye!